Hi, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're gonna talk about powder days, but more importantly, the part of powder days that ski marketing does not want you to see, and that's the lift lines. This past week, we had a huge dump of snow. We got record levels of snow. What did we get? We got 11 to 12 inches on Friday, then we got 8 inches on Monday and another 3 inches on Tuesday. It was the biggest powder days of the year. I've actually got a video of just Zach skiing on the Black Crows with me. I may have some more videos like that, but you can see that down below. But it was a huge powder day. What has happened is now it seems like a lot of people have Fridays off or they call it sick to work, whatever. But I went on Friday and Friday is just as busy as a Saturday. The lift lines were long. The parking lot was full. It was just crowded and full of people who were, I don't know, rabid trying to get to the powder, cutting people off on the big switchback to the mountain, getting in everyone's face when they didn't find a parking spot. It was kind of a gruesome sight. And then the backside, which normally doesn't have any lift line, had lift lines of people stacking up hoping to get on some powder. And then when you look in the snow from the chairlift, the people in the powder are usually beginners and they cannot handle the steep terrain on the backside of my home mountain. My home mountain basically has a front side and a back side. The front side is for beginner to intermediate skiers. It has really good features, but then there is a back side that tends to get more snow, but it is very steep and very difficult, and it is not beginner friendly. So you would just see people digging themselves out of snow. Ski patrol was working overtime. And honestly, I think the reason that this happens is because there is so much hype on social media, on YouTube, wherever, about powder days. And I love powder skiing. It's one of my favorite things. It's something I wait all year round to look forward to, but it's gotten a little crazy. And I have to say, my kind of hot take for this kind of thing is I get more excited for just a few inches of snow because there's gonna be less people, less crowded, and it's more likely I'll get fresh tracks actually. So I'm gonna react to a couple videos. I wanna see some of these lift lines. I haven't watched these before, but I did like a Google search of lift lines. I have seen friends from Colorado, just on social media in general, the kind of lift lines that exist. So without further ado, let's jump into it and get reacting to some videos. All right, so without further ado, let's watch Insane Ski Lift Line at Vail by Hiking Nerd. And here we go. Okay, pretty normal line there. Not too bad. Okay, let's keep going.
Oh my God.
Holy crap, that's a lot of people. Is this like one of those ski lifts where you don't have any other way out either? Like these people are all stuck just waiting in line? Holy moly. I see a lift line like that and I am not going back into line. That is absurd. This is from 4 years ago. It's only gotten worse. It's only gotten worse since COVID. This is Vail. Yeah, that's absurd. And if you heard the people booing, that is probably because there was like a single person riding up the chair and it slowed everyone down. You shouldn't be able to sell lift tickets like this. If there is a line that reaches that extent, I would want a refund on my ticket. I'm not skiing, I'm just waiting in a line at that point. And that's not what I signed up for. That is the worst lift line I've ever seen. And it's even worse when you consider that it's double on either side. Get why people don't want to ski. Because you're not skiing. I mean, you might as well go to Disneyland at that point. That is crazy. I've heard what's kind of causing this as well is that because ski areas are now on either Epic or Icon passes, when another ski hill is closed or doesn't have good conditions, those skiers migrate to another nearby mountain or they travel far to another mountain and then they ski there because their ticket is good in either place. And it creates these giant lines. Or it's spring break, whatever it might be. I'm sure it's good for the ski hill. They're probably making hand over fist money. But that looks like a nightmare for the employees, and it looks like a nightmare for the skiers. I mean, at that point, yeah, you're not a skier. You're just waiting in line for a Disney attraction. Really, like that's what it is. God, actually, don't let the ski execs hear me. Then there will be a lightning lane and... ugh. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in rural Vermont and I really hardly ever saw lines, maybe around Christmas time. Since then, the mountain has struggled, so it's even less. And now where I live in Idaho, I barely ever see lines. I'll only see lines if I go on the weekend with my kids and I have to stay on the front side, but this is brutal. Okay, let's watch another one. Okay, these are more recent. This is a YouTube short, epic lift lines at Vail after huge powder dump. Here we go. Oh God. This is literally my worst nightmare. Just this, just being falling off a chair and having hundreds, thousands of people booing at me like that. Oh my God, I feel bad for that guy. I mean, to be fair, if you're on a powder day and it's busy, you need to know how to ride the chairlift. Get your act together. Take your backpack off, do whatever you gotta do. I know stuff happens, but like if you're in the back area or somewhere that has powder, maybe this is a normal area, but it looks like it's kind of off to the side, know how to ride the lift. Got his Headcore 93s and nothing but shame. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. This is gross. Look at those lines. Everyone's lined up for powder day. See if I can find another one. Okay, huge ski lift line. Let's check this one out. Oh my God, I thought that was just the start of the line. Oh God, it hurts. When you get to the point where you start climbing up the hill so you can wait in line for a ski lift, that's when you messed up. That's when you go, you know what? I've had enough. Time to hike home. Time to take the car. Warm up the car. Let's stop for donuts on the way. We're done with this. This is so gross. I don't know if this is Steamboat. It looks like an East Coast mountain, actually. Vaguely looks familiar, but I can't place it just off of what I see here. Like, really? You're gonna wait in that kind of line for an East Coast ski area? I've skied just about every ski area in Vermont and New Hampshire, and there's nothing worth waiting in line like this. Stowe is really good. I like Stowe, but I wouldn't wait in any kind of line. I don't have the patience for this. How do people wait this long? I've been stuck in a 10-minute line with my kids just because I have to get back to my car, and it happens. And even that like pushes the limits of my mental fortitude, where I just think, oh, you know, maybe we just go inside and wait this out. You're not skiing at this point. You're paying to wait in line all day. Zach and I were actually talking about this the other day, because on Friday when it was super busy, there was 11 inches, and on Monday there was about 9 inches. And I told him 9 inches on a Monday when there's no one at the ski hill is way better than 11 inches on a Friday, because it gets skied off so quickly. There's such big crowds. It's such a pain. It's gotten to the point where, like, I see powder on the horizon and I get anxiety, because if it lines up anywhere near the weekend or holiday, the ski hill is going to be packed. I'm not going to be able to ski. I would rather just ski groomers than I would powder with a bunch of people who are flying around, not considerate, don't know what they're doing. They're way out of control. They're, you know, like hogging up the parking. They're all in one giant 150 by themselves. I'm not trying to be gatekeepy, and I know skiing is very filled with gatekeeping, and I'm not trying to do that, but a lot of what I like about skiing is the tranquility. I like being able to be up there and get some good turns in. And honestly, when it's a big powder day, there are so many people on it that the trails get choppy. You've got people with speakers on their backpacks blaring. You've got rude people on the lift lines. If I'm being 100% honest, I'd rather just have a firm packed day with some corduroy and make some smooth laps and just enjoy myself, rather than worrying about like getting in and getting the first lines. And I've gotten creative with powder. I know how to like look for areas that most people don't go, or Zach commented that I like really like to traverse. And part of that is that I'll traverse way across the hill so I can find untouched powder. But it's gotten to the point, yeah, where I like powder days, but there's a huge asterisk. I like powder days on a midweek day that I can actually go, you know, when it lines up with my schedule and with my kids' schedule, where I can actually go and enjoy it. Because a day like I had on Friday, where it's powder and it's packed full of people, it's fun, but it's more stressful than fun. I don't know if you guys feel this way too, if it's just my anxiety that makes me feel this way, but it's really unpleasant. And especially if you've ever skied with kids, like skiing on busy days, I've got 2 kids that I've gotten harnesses and I'm having to pull them through and walk them through the lift line and feed them snacks while we're waiting. And just having people, I've seen people vaping and smoking, even though they're not supposed to, in line. And it just goes like, you know, I don't need to be a part of this. It makes me really not enjoy it. Or I'll just come up another day when no one else is here. I know that's not the option for everyone. I just have like a weird schedule with what I have going on, and I know I'm very privileged to be able to do that. But honestly, yeah, the powder just brings out the worst in a lot of people, and brings out just a lot of people in general. Anyway, that's kind of my rant about powder days and lift lines, and I know it's kind of all over the place, but this stuff gives me, every time I see it, every time it pops up where I just see these giant lines, I go, who's willing to do that? Who drives up and sees all the people and says, yeah, I'm gonna commit to this one run I'm gonna get. And if you get first tracks, it's worth it, it's fun. I can see the justification for it, but you're only getting one run. Then usually it's all tracked up. Maybe you get 2 or 3, but it's getting all tracked up. You gotta compete with all these people. It just, at least for what I get out of skiing, it doesn't have a ton of value. Midweek powder, A+. Midweek grooming, A-. Packed powder, C+. Packed not powder, holiday, C-. That's my ranking for ski days. Anyway, that's the end of my video. It's kind of a weird one, but I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. That's a free way you can support the channel. I will also have a link down below to the skis that I ski on. If you're looking to buy skis and want to see what I personally use, you can do that. Or if you want to join our community, there's a lot of perks and you get to see my videos early. But as always, just thank you for watching. The fact that you guys watch these videos is what allows me to keep making them. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing all that. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.